and Blackie Swart were having a steady run in the Drinks Galore Chenoweth and lying 5th in the special vehicles category. The designated service point and midway through the O'Hagan's Kopanong Hotel 500, and there was a new race leader. Shamir Variawa and Zahir Burdania had got by Anil de Villiers and Francois Jordan. A great performance from the reigning special vehicle drivers champion. Service crews set to work replacing the right front wheel, which had a slow puncture, and after a quick refuel they were on their way again. Second overall and leading the production vehicle category was the Nissan hardbody of Anil de Villiers and Francois Jordan. A routine pit stop followed, with the crew only having to refuel the Nissan, replace a flat wheel and clean the windscreen.
No, so far right. One flat tire, but otherwise it's going well. I think there are 2 guys ahead of us, but one guy. But so far so good.
Next into the service point with the Chefex in the V-Motors Chenoweth. Woolridge and Skolthammer were now lying 4th overall and 2nd in the production vehicle category.
Yeah, we've been pushing quite hard, but the dust has been really bad. But I must say everyone's been pretty good in moving over, and we're going to push hard these next 250 k's.
Good luck.
Class D leader Shumi van Vieren had a trouble-free run, but was being chased hard by Mark Corbett in the Petronas Isuzu. Van Vieren was determined to finish well and regain the championship lead, but a delay in the pit saw him lose the Class D lead to Corbett. The chase was now on. Yaki and Elmarie Hubert moved up to 3rd in the special vehicle category in the Jojo Tanks Beetle, which is powered by a turbocharged Baldo engine. Weigeld and Smallberger occupied 5th place in the production vehicle category in the N1 4x4 Toyota Land Cruiser. A puncture dropped Hein Probler from 1st to 3rd in Class D. A slow pit stop for Weigeld allowed Probler to make up a place in the pits and set off in pursuit of the Toyota and the Isuzu. Weir, Smith and Minute were experiencing ball joint problems on the O'Hagan's Kopanong Hotel Jimco. They had dropped down the order and were running 4th overall in the special vehicle category. The Zomatin brothers, Henry and Maurice, were having a great run in the Sony PlayStation Pajero after starting 2nd last. But Ed Barker and Hubert breathing down their necks.
Dust. Circle. Not some guys haven't got lights. So you end up with the dust behind, the wind blowing towards you and you can't see anything. Now it's difficult.
The vacation van's Jeep had got stuck in a riverbed, and Perth and Abraham had to wait for ages before someone towed them out. A leaking steering box seal forced them to retire at the service point. Class E leaders Andrew and Chris Birkin were no longer under threat. Class E championship leader Manfred Schroeder had retired the Ford Ranger, and Kutsia Labaskakny was experiencing gearbox problems. Kirstein and Juster in the DDS Sandmaster had a commanding lead in Class B at the midway point. Problems for Cassie Kutsia, who had been having a great run in the Class E Castrol Toyota Condor.
Ons het so 'n pragtige run gehad, nou staan ons. Ons het nie gevat nie, ons weet nie wat die probleem is nie. Ek kan dit nie glo nie.
The Condor eventually fired, and Kutsia and co-driver Aki Fari were on their way again. Almost 5 hours into the race, and Variawa and Bordania were still in the lead in the Cornbake Foods Jimco. 2nd overall and leading the production vehicle category were de Villiers and Jordan in the spectacular Nissan hardbody. 4th overall, 2nd in the production vehicle category, and leading Class D were Corbett and Moore in the Petronas Isuzu. A back-to-back class win seemed to be on the cards. Still leading Class E were the Birkins, whose closest challengers were the Condor of Kutsia and Paris, the Toyota Hiluxes of Jean-Pierre Hubert and Errol Hudson, and Hugo and Jaap de Bruyn. Kirstein and Juster were uncatchable in Class B, but behind them a battle was raging between Gavin Gray and Graham Cunningham and Dion Besaidenote and Hill Nell. Another lead change, and this time de Villiers and Jordan are back at the head of the pack in the Nissan hardbody. The popularity of the spectacular super trucks is without question. New special vehicle category leaders, the Jepex, with Franz Jr. at the wheel, had moved into the lead in the V-Motors Chenoweth, and 5 consecutive victories now seemed a reality. A giant-killing performance saw Mark Corbett and Juan Moore move up to third overall, second in the production vehicle category, and the Class D lead in the Petronas Isuzu. Variawa and Verdania lost the lead when the Cornbake Foods Jimco became entangled in a barbed wire fence, costing them valuable time. Neil Woolridge and Kenny Skolthammer had taken the Ford Ranger from 57th to 5th overall and third in the production vehicle category. Another consistent performance from this veteran pair, who are also former off-road motorcycle champions. Nissan pair Hein Probler and Gerard Prinsloo had managed to get past Jumi van Vuren and Varney Kotzer in the Castrol Toyota Land Cruiser. Van Vuren and Kotzer were content to run third in Class D because of the points they could earn would once again see them at the top of the production vehicle championship lot. Veteran Cliff Barker and Malcolm Hubert moved from 58th to 8th overall and 6th in the production vehicle category in the Barker Performance Products Land Rover, and managed to get ahead of Henry and Marisa Matten in the Sony PlayStation Pajero, who had started 63rd. 10th overall and 3rd in the special vehicle category. Husband and wife team Yaki and Almarie Hubert in the Jojo Tanks Beetle, which is one of the crowd-pleasing vehicles in off-road racing. With less than half an hour of racing left, Anil de Villiers and Francois Jordan had the race firmly in their grip. De Villiers' dream of winning the race in which he made his off-road debut last year seemed to be a reality. The relatively smooth, open terrain certainly suited the high-powered Nissan hardbody well. A record-breaking 5 special vehicle category wins in a row seemed to be on the cards for the Chepex. Just look at how the suspension on the V-Motors Chenoweth absorbs the rough terrain. There was no stopping Mark Corbett and Juan Moore and the Class D Petronas Isuzu. The former special vehicle driver has come to grips with the handling of the Isuzu, which is vastly different to the Jimco he raced last year. Kasi Gutierrez and Aki Fari had no answer for Class E leaders Andrew and Chris Birkin, and had to be content with second in what has become a highly competitive class. Kirstein and Justus still lead Class B, but Gavin Gray and Graham Cunningham got the better of the other Class B contenders to move into second place. The finish and overall victory to Anil de Villiers and Francois Jordan in the Nissan hardbody.
Especially the second loop was absolutely awesome. We had no problems whatsoever, and it's just it's very, very nice to win this event because it was my first one last year.
A record-breaking 5 consecutive special vehicle category victories for Franz Chepex Senior and Junior and the venerable V-Motors Chenoweth.
It was very fast racing. The route not particularly suited to the vehicle that we have. Very, very smooth sort of terrain, not rough enough to show the true potential of the space frame vehicles, but nevertheless still a good result, and we're very happy.
Third overall, second in the production vehicle category, and the Class D win for Mark Corbett and Juan Moore in the Petronas Isuzu.
Yeah, it was a tough race this one, and lucky for us, the second win in a row. We had a bit of trouble this race, the whole last loop we didn't have third gear. So we're lucky to come in.
The Class E victory went to Andrew and Chris Birkin, who led the class from start to finish in the Castrol Toyota Hilux.
We had to get it because we had 2 non-finishes in a row, the last 3 events, so we had to win the class to give our championships hope, our championship points some hope, so we're happy. Bucky, the Hilux went very well. The route was very nice, fast in some places, but exceptionally good.
A debut win in Class B for Henry Kirstein and René Juster.
It was a lucky day and it was fantastic. We really enjoyed it and we had no problems with the car. We never stopped. No problem, so it was a clean run and we're very chuffed about it.
The special vehicle results highlight 5 Class A and 5 Class B finishes in the top 10, with a historic win for the Chepex and one of the closest battles seen this season in Class B. The production vehicle results with top honors going to De Villiers, Jordan and Nissan, a charging performance from behind by Woolridge and Skolthammer, and a fine 10th overall for Gary Formato.